All right, we are on the road today at a museum. I feel kind of weird using like a really loud voice in here. I feel like I'm going to get into trouble. Yeah. Yes. Joining me right now is Megan, who works here and gives tours around here. Obviously, a beautiful space. We're still on the second floor of the Broad Art Museum, but we're in a different area. Talk to me a little before we begin and dive into where we're at. Give me a little bit of background about the Broad Art Museum, because I know it is a staple in Lansing, especially here in East Lansing.
Sure. So you're at the MSU Broad Art Museum. MSU is important because it's part of Michigan State University, but it's also a community art museum. If you've ever been here, you know there's actually two entrances, and neither one faces the city or the campus. They're both for everyone. So it's designed to be kind of a place to pass through for everyone together. The museum has been here 10 years. We're celebrating our 10th birthday this year, actually, so we'll talk a little more about that, I'm sure. What else we feature contemporary art, but also a large historical collection, which you can see quite a bit of right behind me.
Yes, I was about to say, and you guys have so many different spaces and exhibits and stuff. So talk to me a little bit about how many exhibits you guys have going on here.
Sure. So we have 3 levels. So we're on the top floor right now. So up here we have like 2 exhibitions, and then if you go downstairs, there's 3 more, and then in the lower level right now, there's actually 3 more. So there's quite a bit to see no matter where you go of various sizes. There's 3 large exhibitions. The one we're in right now is called History Told Slant. Downstairs we have an exhibition of murals by artists from Detroit, Beverly Fishman, that takes up the largest gallery. And then we also have an exhibition about Frida Kahlo and her family and friends. It's an archival exhibition, really worth a trip here to come see.
Yes, I checked that out on my spare time before. Absolutely amazing. But let's talk a little bit about the space that we're in right now. You said it's history on a slant. There's a lot of pictures of faces behind us. Yeah, tell me a little bit about what we're looking at, and if you have a particular favorite.
Sure. So this wall, as you can see, is totally filled floor to ceiling with portraits. These are all part of the MSU Broad Permanent Collection. And they're put up in a kind of like a salon style hanging, so nothing is really more important than anything else. It's meant to sort of tell the story of how art tells a human story, and people from all over the world make art and portraits. And we have a collection, and we're interested in seeing all the different ways we can learn about the world around us through the people and the artwork and the artists and all the stories they tell. That's a lot. But I do give quite a few tours, and so we're talking about, is there like a favorite piece? So this large grid of faces you can see in the middle, I would say every group I bring in here, they're like, wait a minute, tell me about this one. And especially children, is that writing on his face?
Yeah.
And what's happening? And they're super interested in the progression of a person through an artwork. I think that one really draws their attention beyond everything else.
Yes, so definitely stood out for me. And if we don't have a handy dandy tour guide like you, it's really cool because there's an iPad that you can use and you can click on the different pieces of artwork and then it showcases a little bit about the artist itself, which I think is super handy dandy. And this is just one of the many kind of hands-on things that you can have to learn more about the artwork that's here. And we're just getting started about talking about the Broad Art Museum. A little later we're going to talk about kind of the kid-friendly discovery packs that you can have here. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that. But for now, we're going to toss it to a break. Welcome back. We are live on the road for Studio 10 at the MSU Broad Museum, where we're clearly having fun with all different shapes and sizes. And these are things that came from the Discovery Pack that, Megan, you actually helped put together, because you definitely do a lot of the education and programs here at the museum.
I do, absolutely. So this is designed with families in mind, with children of all ages. It is called the Discovery Pack. It says explore the galleries with your family, and on the outside you can see there's activities for how to look together, play together, share together, and wonder together in the galleries. So if you came and you picked one of these up, you can carry it around with you everywhere you go. As you notice, there's some really fun ways to change what you see in terms of color, and I had a shape one. There's also this is one of my favorites. These are just like dots you can put on the floor, but these are to like make your own little path through the museum for your family. So you can, each person takes a few and they can look around and put them in front of works of art they like, and then you can take a tour designed by your kid, or they can take one designed by you, which is super, super fun. Those go back in here.
It's like a Mary Poppins bag.
It is really, there's so much in here, these tiny little bags. And then also you can leave your own artwork in the museum big part of our family-friendly experience is we want to know what you like to make and what your pictures might be like. So like a little girl named Charlotte left a little drawing here in the book, and then another child named Ruby left this really awesome drawing here. So sharing that with other families through the bags is super exciting to me, to get to see what people choose to do while they're here, and then also what they leave for other people to enjoy.
Right,
so
and
discovery packs are always here.
Always here.
Right here on a hook.
Right here
Yes.
on the hook. And another time that people can really experience this with their families, of course, on their family days.
Yes.
Quickly talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. The first Saturday of every month is Family Day here at the MSU Broad from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We are mostly in the education wing, but sometimes outside, sometimes in the galleries, and we have hands-on art making, scavenger hunts, things to get your family working together looking at art. It's not so much for, okay, you know, the kids go do this and the parents wait. It's definitely intergenerational, do it together kind of thing. We're really proud of our family programs, and they're really well attended. It's always really fun, and our team works really hard on making each one different and unique.
Yes, clearly they're all very unique. This has been
super fun, yeah.
So much fun. And now these are activities that are right here that they can have, but we're also standing on a very interactive part of the museum. So talk to me a little bit about all the stickers and the artwork that's on here. How does this work? Because I have a couple stickers of myself.
Okay, good, you're ready. So this activity is for everyone who comes. There's a table with stickers right over there, but these are all reproductions of works on view on the second floor. And what we put out is 4 different stickers with the idea that there's no one way to respond to or feel about or connect with an artwork, that everyone has a chance to have their own opinions and ideas. And we really want to celebrate that. That's one reason of having a collection on view for the community. So if you look at the floor, you can see people are putting eyes.
Yeah.
That means that they're like seeing something differently, changing your perspective a little bit. The hearts are they're making a connection or feeling empathy. The light bulbs are being curious or having a new idea. And then what am I looking at?
I think I'm going to put a sticker on this one right here.
Yeah, you have a blue one. Hold on, the blue one. Oh, expanding your mind.
Yes, I think this does expand my mind, and I'm going to put the blue sticker on the blue one because it does expand my mind, and I like the different patterns in it. So this has been a lot of fun. We still have more fun to come here at the Broad Art Museum, and that's all going to happen after the break, where we're going to head outside. Stay with us. Welcome back to Studio 10. We are on the road again today, wrapping things up at the Broad Art Museum, where we're learning to love Lansing like a local. We were inside having a lot of fun. Now we're outside because we have to talk about the unique architecture of the Broad Museum. You really can't miss it when you're driving by. I mean, how can you miss this big silver building? Talk to me a little bit about why it's shaped like this.
Okay. Well, so this building, obviously totally different than everything else around it. It's designed by award-winning architect Zaha Hadid. She's won the Pritzker Prize of Architecture, which is like the Nobel Prize. So she's a super big deal. And the fact that we have a building designed by her just right here at MSU is really awesome. So you do notice it's slanted, it's leaning forward, it's almost kind of moving. I like to make that an analogy to the artwork inside, and that we're showing like artwork by so many different people, and it is always kind of moving and moving ideas forward as part of our research mission. The other cool thing about the outside is it's reflective, so no matter when you're here, it looks different. So the sky changes the way the building appears. Like I can see the trees reflected over there right now. Never noticed that before. But so yeah, there's a lot to learn about the inside and outside of the building through the architecture.
And they can learn more about the architecture during an upcoming tour of the architecture. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have architecture tours. There's actually one coming up on Sunday. It's going to be led by Assistant Curator Rachel Winter. And she will walk you through and actually give you more like backstory into how a building like this gets designed and into Zaha Hadid's process and how she would come up with something like this. The idea that she can just look at an empty space or a plot of land and imagine something totally different than anyone else would think of is super exciting. And it's informed by her interest in mathematics and art and tons of experience trying out new things.
Right, bringing a little bit of everything together. You said that science and the arts. Definitely really cool. Yeah. You can't miss it. If you do now, just come down to East Lansing right now and drive past it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. And earlier during the show when we first started, you mentioned this is your 10th year. It's your 10th anniversary, so happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
How are you guys celebrating?
Yeah, 10 is a really big deal for us. So we're celebrating in a few different ways. One, we're actually going to have a big exhibition of all work by Zaha Hadid coming up, opening in September, on September 10th. That'll be most of the museum. So if you can imagine the outside of the museum and then a whole bunch of stuff inside that looks like that, it's going to be really exciting. So there's that. We're also holding a gala in September. It's called Road to 10. It's a fundraiser to plan for something called open storage, which you saw the collection upstairs. It's so exciting. You can't always see that much of it. So the idea that we might have something called open storage where you can see a lot of it all the time, super exciting, especially thinking about like education and stuff. So that's on September 17th, and you can register on the website. It's going to be an awesome party.
You had me at party. But real quick before we wrap things up, if people want to visit, tell us a little bit about how people can visit.
Sure. Okay. So we are open Thursday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's free to everyone all the time, actually. It's not a special thing. It's just always free. So please come by as much and as often as you want to.
I love it. I know. We're going to head back inside because it's absolutely amazing. And it's a little hot out here. So we're going to toss it over to Colton, who will give us a little bit of brief on our forecast.